followed around by the white vans, okay? But that ain't never stopped. It ain't never lessened up. But the issue here is this, that when you talk to me about race, right, I read you Romans chapter 9 and verse number 13, right? As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Okay? Let me get this. All right? And I don't want people to think it's something disrespectful, right? A lot of times you'll hear me bringing out precepts, or you'll hear me speaking on something. And if you know these scriptures well enough to know, you'll know that even when I'm speaking another precept. But I don't always stop and call them out or pull them up, okay? But understand, man, that's just part of trying to keep it flowing. This is Psalms chapter 139 and verse number 19. He said, surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O power. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. Okay? Now, when he says, depart from ye, therefore, ye bloody men, it's not as if you can command Esau to get up off of you, right? That is a signification, okay, that David, not in his kingdom, because he was in rulership, keep this in mind, okay? But in the visions that the Lord gave him, his response to that was he wanted to see them die, okay? When you're in the land of the living, all right, and you say, depart from me, okay? You talking about, I want you away from me. And that's what David was saying. If you read through the Kings and the Chronicles, you understand David had a favorite saying. It was fall upon them, okay? And the reason the Lord didn't allow David to build the temple is because he said what? He said, you have been a bloody man, okay? So that was David's mindset, but that was the particular spirit that the Lord created as one of his dearest and his beloved, all right? And understand that he was waiting for Solomon to come. This is a special case, okay? It says, for they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain, okay? So understand, man, he said, why does he want them to depart? Why does he want them to die, to be destroyed, right? Because they speak against the Heavenly Father wickedly, okay? They will tell you everything in the world is wrong with circumcision, right? But they will mutilate and destroy healthy young men and women and call it health care. All right? You have to understand, right, that in the presence of a hypocrite, okay, you can't value them words, you know? And because all creatures were designed to bow down to the will and the way of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai, people are designed to follow what they hear, to expect it to be true, okay? And this is the root of Satan's power, in that the words of his heart are smoother than butter, but there was evil in his heart, okay? And that's how he murders people, okay? All these people that have been hurt up behind these recent events, man, okay? You look at the AIDS epidemic, and what do you see? You see a drug called AZT, right? That no one that died, I'm sorry, none of the people that were in the hundreds of thousands that died were not prescribed this drug. You had people like Magic Johnson never took it. And you ain't never seen him look a bad in a day in his life. Because what they did was they sold you fear. And what they did was they gave you a remedy. And so if you believe in them, right? If you go back to the ancient Greek and you actually look at Plato, and he was a demon, right? But he'll tell you what a virus was. Because he told them back then, before they had microscopes, he said it's an infectious lie. Well, wow, okay? But in any case, he said they speak against thee wickedly, right? So they'll say that because the Lord divided the nations, and y'all want to unify everybody, that dividing the nations is wicked, right? They want to tell you that discrimination is wicked. Now, discrimination is the act and ability of being able to tell one thing from another, okay? So if you don't have discrimination, all right, you have nothing, okay? The Lord said, be ye circumspect, meaning not only are you supposed to be able to discriminate each and every object and every action in front of you, but you're supposed to turn around and see what else might be affecting that, and then spin your perspective and see how other people may be looking at the same thing you're looking at. Okay? You know, and this is the thing about, because we standing across from a so-called school where my daughter's supposed to go next year. And all they teach them in there is witchcraft and nothing. And then mostly what they try and do is pump their brakes and teach them how to be obedient, to be honest with you. Okay? They bore them to death so that they resort to all types of wickedness, man. All right? But if you were teaching children proper things, you would teach them, first off, you know, survival. And I'm talking about young. You keep them safe, right? You teach them how to do work and to do chores, right? And they call them chores in this place because all these demon spirits know that they're going to end up in slavery forever, okay? So they hate the idea of chores and menial work. That's why in their kingdom, what did they do? They came up with technology to make sure that they didn't have to sweep their own floors. They got these little robots that run around and they'll sweep and they'll vacuum your floors, okay? They don't want to do the work in the factories, but they don't want to pay Jake to do it, okay? That's how bad they are. They want the work done, but they hate us. But we are the pillars of the earth, okay? When you go to the backbone and the most effective part of any corporation, the Lord has sprinkled us and placed us so that we keep this place going, okay? This country was built from thieving land from the Native Americans, okay? Our brothers, Gad and Reuben, okay? From killing and stealing the land of Issachar, okay? And Zebulun, all right? Then they brought us over here, okay? And they literally built their financial empire on our backs. And they won't tell you that we designed their sewers, that we designed their street lights. They won't tell you about the contributions that Jake put forward in this place. He said, what he said? Hold on. It's a lot. Let me get to the precept real quick. Yep. And made no account of their labors. There it is. Right? It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse number 1. He said, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and make no account of his labor." Okay? So understand, the Lord said not only were they going to afflict us, right? But they were going to make no account of our labor. Okay? So when you see some asshole like Thomas Edison and they claim, right, that he created all these things, Benjamin Franklin, and they claim that he invented all these things, and you find out that they didn't collect cotton pickers, that they collected some of the smartest jakes in the world, right? And they were slaves, and they worked in there just like these young interns and these college graduates work in these technology places. And because they work for a corporation, what does the corporation do? They steal your patent. They take credit. Okay? He said what? Which made no account of their labors, man. Okay? I went and did a job over the last 2 days. The total payout on that job was $12,500 some odd dollars. Okay? The labor bill, and it was difficult in every way imaginable. Plus, it was super hot. Didn't matter. The Lord sets these things in front of you, right? The labor bill was less than $450. Okay? Because these devils are disrespectful, man. All right? They don't believe in giving account to people's labor. Okay? When their representatives show up at the stockholders meeting, okay, they don't care about the people that are going to lose their jobs, the families that are going to be outside, the divorces that are going to occur, okay, the houses that are going to be lost, all right? They don't care about none of that, all right? They talk about their bottom line, but this is the hint I want to give you, okay? They make money out of nowhere. I could be ever so honest with you. They don't care nothing about that bottom line. They love the destruction, man. They love to see people in anger. There have been literally Edomites online and on your Netflix and your Amazon, and they've spoken openly about a concept that they call the loosh, right? And of course, all of their stuff sounds stupid because the Lord makes them sound stupid, right? But the issue here, it's parallel to the parable of a vampire, right? They want to empower themselves and give themselves more life force by sucking negative energy out of you. And that's the cover story, because I have read enough of these people's writings and I've seen what they do, okay? In most cases, you got devils and other assorted heathen, including some of our people, that pray to demons, and the demons instruct them to cause pain or to cause misery or to sacrifice something in order to give them what they want. That's that deal that people, don't speak openly about, but happens all the time. And why would I speak openly at this point, man? These people are passing laws saying, going back to that situation, right, that if I should speak against a race, I hate Esau, okay? If I should speak against a religion, all right, I am a Jew, okay? I don't even like the word. I'm Yahweh, which means thanks be, praise be to Yahweh, okay? I am Yasha Allah, okay? A son of the living power, all right? And I hate every single Muslim, every single so-called Christian that want to stick to it, okay? Every single Satanist, Zoroastrian, Buddhist, and anything else, Catholics, okay? You're a bunch of fucking demons. You molest children. Mormons, are you serious? They got so twisted they tried to throw the curse of Cain back on us, okay? So, no, I don't have peace with you people, okay? Let me read this. Psalms 139. And he said, thy enemies take thy name in vain, right? That's why them fucking piece of shit Khazars that call themselves Jewish, okay? Don't tell me I'm anti-Semitic, okay? I'm a Shemite, all right? We're blood brethren to the closest pedigree. I can't be no more against my people, but I am against you, and I say it open. That's the whole thing. You people prance around and dance around. The Lord said to speak openly, plainly. As a matter of fact, before I finish that off, yes, let me get that. Okay? It's Isaiah chapter 58, verse number 1. He said, cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. So when he said cry loud, I'm going to cry loud. When he said spare not, that means I'm not going to pull no punches. Okay? So, I hate you fake ass so-called Jews that took my land and try to claim to be us.
Oh,
and
praise.
try to claim to be the Lord's chosen when you're not good at anything. Anything. And everybody hates you. That's why you got to create laws that say you can't hate you. And why do they hate you? Because of what you do. I made the terrible mistake of going to a butcher over here on the east side when I first moved out here, and I wanted to get me some goat. And this damn devil, this Amalekite demon, okay, because Amalek is whom you call the Jewish nowadays, okay, the Khazarian empire that claims to be the chosen of the Lord. When you see George Soros on 60 Minutes talking about how much he enjoyed robbing, stripping, raping, and pillaging the Jews, and you're sitting here conflicted because you're thinking he did it to his own people, he told you that was the best time of his life, okay? Because when you went to Poland or East Germany or North Germany, okay, anywhere but Southwest Germany, right, you couldn't find a single Negro left. And why was Hitler so mad? Because he tried to bring out that Aryan race as if they were superior. And what happened? The Lord sent Jesse Owens and them over there, and they ran them boys into the pavement. It was embarrassing, okay? And they propagated all this nonsense, and all of a sudden, right, who's backing up the music industry? And some nigga with a perm, okay? That's how I gotta say it, all right? James Brown, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Oh, I'm sorry, he works for the cause office, okay? Who brought about the NAACP, of whom my grandfather was the West Coast director, okay? Demon, all right? He is a, what you call it? It's called a Shriner, okay? Right? High up in that demon shit, okay? So understand, man, you know? I know what these organizations is about, but who started that, right? The cause office. Who backed it up financially? The cause office. Who wrote Martin Luther King's speeches? Stanley Levinson. That's who. You can look it up, okay? That man was a plagiarist his whole life. He was barred from Heathrow Airport over in the UK because he had been caught attempting to bring unregistered children into the country. Okay? Now what they say is it wasn't the first time, but there's only one time on record, so I'll speak on that. Okay? Alright? But they were behind that. Margaret Sanger, right? Who brought us Planned Parenthood, who murdered more of our babies than anything else in history, right? She was backing up W.E.B. Du Bois. She was backing up it was a preacher back then, and she said the most effective tool that we have is the black preacher. That's what Margaret Sanger said, who said she wanted to exterminate our race. Okay? But people don't get it, man. You know? And if the Lord got you rolling to them churches at this point, then that's where he got you going. Okay? Come. All right? But let me finish this off, man. He said, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. Am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Okay? So the Lord said that the spirit that we're supposed to be in, because he said David was a man that had a heart that was of his own. Okay? And you have to understand that when you hear something come out the scriptures, why do I say he said all the time? A lot of people focus on the Paul, and they focus on the John, and they focus on the this, and they focus on the Isaiah and the Moses. But the scripture said the Lord gave the word. Great was the company of men that published it. It's in the Psalms. So like it. I don't have my second phone like I used to. All right, but I believe it's 58:31. Matter of fact, we'll check it.
All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Worthy to be praised. We got next. Children of Israel, we got next.
That's what the scripture said, all right? It said the Lord gave the word, the great was the company of men that published it, okay? And that goes to, and if you put that in there, KJV, it'll pop right up. But that goes to not only, you know, the writing of these scriptures, okay, but also to the lessons that come out, all right, through his men, all right? So he said, I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies, man, okay? So when you tell me that you got a man, right, that wants to wear women's clothing, right, that wants to full-time act like a woman, and not only that, you telling me that I got to call him a woman, okay? Like, you done gone completely and totally the fuck off. Okay? There ain't no two ways about that, man. You know? It's a lock you. You know what I'm saying? I have to go through this from time to time. You know? But a lot of people don't understand why Stephen and them got mobbed up like that, why people used to be riled up and ready to get out the Lord. What it is like for an Israelite that it has some esteem to be called a viper and a serpent and a fox. Okay? But the point being is that when you people call being insulted or disrespected is something that the people of the Lord did to people that deserved it. And it wasn't an insult in and of itself, and that's what kills me about you people, right? When you tell somebody that they're doing a shitty job or that they have a retarded learning curve, right? And they're learning hella slow and they have a low efficiency rate, you just told them the truth. But in this place, you have committed an offense of some kind, as if they didn't offend by doing the shitty job in the first place, okay? But that's how you end up with proud people that don't perform correctly, okay? So let me get this. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse number 6. He said, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things, okay? And we talked about the fornication under consent of the king earlier, right? So that the language that we speak makes perfect sense. When you call somebody a son of a bee, it's a queen of heaven worshiper. Bullshit is stuff that Baal worshipers do, like orgies and prostitution and homosexuality and lying and pimping your congregation, okay? Talking about you in the house of God. Okay, what's his name? Right? Because that's the third commandment. It said don't make it worthless. Okay? And that's why we give praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Alright? And it's certain brothers, Salaki. We go to the next one.